going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am Onell Elliott. This is Onell Media, and you are awesome. If you clicked on this video, then I'm 100% sure that you are here to get that secret sauce. You know, that thing that's gonna make your videos pop for your Facebook stories, your Instagram Reels, and most importantly, your TikTok videos. If you are looking to level up your videos, then I am the person to see. In this video, I'll be showing you guys one of my favorite effects. It's really simple, but it's a little meticulous, so you're gonna have to follow me all the way through. But I'm gonna show you the video, and then I'm also gonna show you how I made that video. You ready? Let's go.
Time to run it up. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up.
Now, I love to make videos with me being cloned. With that being said, there's a simple way to set things up, but you have to make sure you follow all of these steps. The first thing that I do is frame my camera. I choose the area that I want to shoot, and then I frame up my shot. When you're framing up your shot, remember to take into account yourself. In this video, I have 3 versions of myself, so I know where each version of myself is going to be. One version off to the side in the chair, one version in the middle of the couch, and then another version of me on the other side of the couch. It's really simple to do. All you have to do is make sure you have constant lighting. Now, you can do this without constant lighting, but when you're outside or in a space where lighting is constantly changing, it's gonna be really hard to match up the clips in post to be able to make them look like all 3, 4, 5, however many of you are in the same location together. I actually have a big light setup, constant light in my space. I use the smaller LED strip lights all the way around the room. Over to the side, I wanted to get a little bit more filler light on the shadowy sides of my face. I set up a small aperture light. These things are actually really powerful, and I use them all the time. Perfect for on the go. After you framed up your shot, make sure that your camera does not move. If the camera moves, you will not be able to get the shot perfectly or easily. We're gonna make sure that the camera does not move. With that, I have a super sturdy travel tripod. I got it off of Amazon for like $100, but this thing has been clutch for me. It's really simple, it breaks down really easy, and most importantly, it is able to hold up my camera. For this video, I shot this with the Sony FX3, but don't think that you need a super high-end video camera to shoot this stuff with. Oftentimes, I shoot most of my social media stuff with this right here, the Sony ZV-1. With this camera, I shoot a ton of content, and it's super simple. It's a step up from your phone, especially if you're in a situation where you don't have a lot of light. And on top of that, it's still pretty pocketable when it's folded down. Now, when you do flip it out, okay, yeah, I'll pull it out, run and gun, and in all honesty, man, I love this camera for making social media content. If you are a content creator, please look into getting the ZV-1. But for this video, I did shoot with my Sony FX3. I want to give you guys the best quality I possibly can. I set up the camera in a spot where it was not going to move. I made sure that I had constant lighting. I also made sure that my camera was not in automatic. I set everything up manually because I did not want any of the settings to change at all. The camera might get some crazy ideas and try to change some settings, even though the lights and stuff didn't change. That throws off the look of the video. And lastly, you gotta do some acting, right? You gotta interact with yourself to make it look more believable. So you have to pick a song where you know the parts and just map what you're gonna be doing with each version of yourself when the song comes on to a certain part. I think one of the big things about social media is you can get a lot of views off of using a video sound that is popular. You can use a sound of some comedy. A lot of people like to use music. And for most of my social media content, especially for TikTok, I make sure I find a popular video and I edit to that video. So one of those things that you're gonna have to do is make sure your sound is properly placed. What I mean by that is I download the sound to my phone and then I play the sound on repeat while I'm shooting the video, so I could go with the sound, the song, whatever it may be. Now, when I first shot the video, I made a mistake. You want the camera to be able to pick up on the sound because you want to match the sound from what you're doing to the actual sound of what you want in the video. And then you just match up the sound and it's easy. Well, when I first shot the video, I actually had in my AirPods. So I'm jamming, but the camera can't actually hear what's going on. So I ended up reshooting all 3 scenes so it'd be more easy for me to match up. Let's go with our checklist for right now, right? Step 1, need a camera, some type of camera. ZV-1, your phone, Sony FX3, whatever you have. It really doesn't make much of a difference. Step 2, you need a sturdy tripod. Gotta have a sturdy tripod so the camera does not move while you're shooting your shots. Step 3, wherever you are at, it will be easier to edit and post if you have constant light that doesn't change. So find you some lights if possible. If not, try to shoot as fast as possible. The next step, you really have to be conscious of what you're posting so you can interact with yourself, because you're gonna have multiple versions of yourself in this video. The next step after that is the secret sauce that I would like to call one taking it. When I do this, I one take it. It is a very long take. It might be a 15-second or 30-second video, but in all actuality, I am truly shooting this in like 2 to 3 minute segments. I'm going to act out one part, the song will be on repeat, and then I'm going to act out the other part without stopping the camera. All 3 of these situations that I recorded were recorded in one take. When one was done, I just moved to the next. Now that you have all of your clips together, we're going to import them into a software where we can edit them. Now, me personally, I use Final Cut Pro, but it pretty much works the same on anything that you will be using. And now I'm gonna show you guys how I actually edit the clips together. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in Final Cut Pro. Like I said, you can use Final Cut Pro, the Adobe software, a LumaFusion if you're a mobile content creator, or you can use Blackmagic. Now, what we're gonna go into is first you wanna drop your clips. Now, I've already dropped my clips, but this is why it is very important for you to have the audio when you're recording, because it was easy for me to just line up my 3 clips. Now, after I put my 3 clips together, I've lined up my clips, then I'm gonna put a mask on all of my clips. But for the sake of the tutorial, I am going to remove these masks right now, which is what I just did. And I'm going to show you guys how my clips look before I put the mask on. Now, I have all 3 of my clips dropped down together. And this is the first clip here, which is just me sitting in the middle, doing my little dance. Then I had dropped my other clip, which is me sitting over to the side. Then I dropped yet another clip, which is me sitting off to the other side. Now, since I made sure I had the music, it was easy to match up these clips. I knew where I wanted to start and stop. That makes your job so much easier. Trust me, you are going to love that in the future when you try this. So thank me by hitting that like button, all right? Now that I have all 3 of my clips, I want to apply a draw mask. Go over to the side, go to draw mask, drag and drop the draw mask over to each clip. Now, to save some time, I have already put masks on these, okay? Use the draw mask, cut out myself in this section. used another draw mask to cut myself off in that section. Now, make sure that you have a few points when you're doing your draw mask so that you can make adjustments as you go through the video. Sometimes there will be overlaps in the different clips in the video, and you'll be able to see maybe a hand disappear or something like that if things are too close. If you have multiple points, you can adjust those points so that if a hand comes into the wrong part of the video for a certain frame, you can just move that mask back. That right there is really simple. The secret sauce to getting your mask right is once you have your mask, you also have to make sure that you feather that mask. The reason why is because even though I shot all of these clips as a continuous clip under the same lighting, it's just going to happen that you're gonna see the lines that separate the clips. So once you get your mask done, you go ahead, you feather that thing. Here's the feather right here. And that way, people won't be able to see the lines that separate the different clips from each other. Now, if you're using Final Cut Pro or anything of that nature, you're going to be able to make compound clips. So once I have my clips lined up and I've used the audio to get it where I want it to be, I simply make a compound clip. In Final Cut Pro, you go to the clips, you select all 3 clips, you right click them, then you go straight the first option, new compound clip. Once you get your compound clip, this is how it looks. If you want to make some adjustments to that clip, you double click it, you can get back to it. Then you come right up here to the middle, hit this direction button that takes you back. Now, I like having songs where the beat drops. The song that I actually picked is a song that won't get flagged on YouTube. Usually I would use a popular song, okay? But the song that I used was Run It Up by MBHD Nick. Shout out to MBHD Nick. I also am a very, very, very avid user of Epidemic Sound. If you guys are looking for royalty-free music, no, this is not sponsored. I actually use this. But if you guys are looking for royalty-free music, Epidemic Sound is the place. I also get all of my sound effects from there. So that's just a little bit something extra for you guys to get. But yes, once I get my clips lined up, I add the music below the clips. When I add the music below the clips, I already know where the beat drops. So all of my clips are gonna line up where the beat drops. That's where I make a little cut right here where the beat drops. I line up the clips. All of my 3 clips are already synced musically because I made sure that I had the audio be able to be heard when I was recording. So with that being said, I take my clips, I line them up, go to where the beat drops, boom, line it up with that, and then just stretched out the rest of the video. Once you get that together, then you're just gonna play your video and check to make sure the sound is okay. Also, the very last thing that you are gonna do once you make sure that the clips are okay and the sound is okay is I like to add some movement. So when you're adding movement to the video to make it look like you actually have a cameraman and that the camera is not static and sitting in one place, you wanna create that movement, I use keyframes. Now the easiest way to use keyframes for me, for simple stuff like this, where I'm not trying to be exact, is I go right over here to the left, click right here, the little square thingy. I don't even know what that's called. Let me know what it's called in the comments, right? But right up here to your left, you have keyframes. And when I start out the video, I have it where I want it to start, and then I add a keyframe. Then, as I go to different parts of the video and I want things to move, I just go to that part, make my adjustments, add another keyframe. Now, I've already added all of my keyframes all the way through so you can see the different movements of the camera as I'm going. And that's pretty much it. Now, my last little trick tip for the tutorial is when you're exporting and you are on Final Cut Pro, I don't know why it is, But when you're exporting your video, you go to export. I used to have YouTube settings set up, but when you use the Apple device 4K, things actually load smoother and faster. That's on YouTube, that's on TikTok, that's on Facebook. I don't know why. It's all the same type of 4K I thought, but when you actually use the Apple device 4K, it loads very, very fast. So if you guys learned anything in this video, please leave a like, chop it up with me, make some comments. Do not forget, subscribe to your boy channel, man. You already stuck out the whole video. I done gave you a little bit of the sauce, and I got more sauce for you coming up. So with that being said, man, y'all be safe. Peace. I love you guys.